If you've ever gotten a quote to replace the motor on your AC unit, I know it can be daunting and it's really expensive. Now, if you've ever been quoted some ridiculous amount and you want to do it by yourself, stay with me in this video. I'm going to show you guys how to change it. Super easy, super fast. As usual, I got you covered. Let's get at it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. And to all my longtime subscribers, welcome back. All right, today I got a nice, easy DIY for you guys. If you have an AC unit like this and your indoor blower motor has gone out, it's not blowing, the thermostat is set to cool, but the fan, you don't hear it blowing, then this is the video for you. I'm going to show you guys how to replace it. Now, technicians and companies can charge upwards of $1,000 or even more to replace this thing. And of course, I'm going to show you guys how to do it for a fraction of a cost by just picking up the motor itself and doing it yourself. Now, as usual, let me get this out the way. Everything that I use here, I'll leave links in the description if you need to figure out what I'm using, where to pick them up. You guys know exactly where to go. And before we begin, I'm going to talk to you guys about what you need to know before you replace one of these things. There's only two things you need to know: the model number and what type of motor. So let's go over that real quick so you guys can get started and know what you're dealing with. So you're going to have two types of motors. One is an ECM motor, which is electronically controlled, and two is a regular motor that's controlled by a capacitor. How can you tell the difference? Well, your ECM motor is going to have a plug on the side of it, and it's going to have a module inside that's basically going to control the speed of your motor electronically. And the other motor that you have is going to be controlled by a capacitor like this. Now, if you do have a capacitor like this, whenever you open up your unit, and I'll get to that in a second, you should look for a capacitor that's mounted somewhere, either to the fan housing or somewhere near the motor itself. The first thing you want to do if you have a capacitor that's controlling your motor is take a look at it and find what size capacitor it is, and you want to remove that first and test it. And if you guys don't know how to do that, I have a video for you showing you exactly how to test your capacitors to see if that's the problem. If your capacitor is the problem, you want to go ahead and replace it. Test your unit again, turn it back on, and see if it cools. And if it does, then good for you. You just saved yourself thousands by picking up one of these things for 20 bucks and you're good to go. Now, if your capacitor is working and your motor is still not working, then it's a bad motor and we're going to go ahead and replace it. So whether it's an ECM or a capacitor control motor, it doesn't matter. The steps are going to be the same to remove it and to reinstall it. So now let's jump into the video and let me show you guys exactly what I got going on here and how you guys can replace your motor by yourselves. Okay, so before we work on our air conditioning unit, the first thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and turn off the power, whether that's at your breaker or if you have a disconnect on the front of your unit, go ahead, flip that switch, turn it off. Once you got it turned off, you can go ahead and remove the screws that are holding the front panel in. Remove all the screws, remove the panel, and set it aside. Now you have access to your blower motor and the fan itself. So now what you want to do is you want to look at it and see where your fan is located. And first and foremost, you want to find the nameplate or the markings on your motor to see what size motor and what the specs are on your motor. What I like to do is take a picture of this, but you can write it down, whatever you want. The important things that you need to know on your motor are the size, which is the horsepower, and the RPMs, and the voltage, and the model number. Now, you can take all this information, put it in your search engine, and it will give you a replacement part, a direct replacement part, or you can find an aftermarket replacement part. If you go to a HVAC supply house, they'll be able to help you match it up. And once you've got your motor in hand and bring it back, then you're ready to jump on to step 2. Now, let's go ahead and remove the motor. And what you want to do is, first and foremost, is take a picture of all the connections to make sure you know what wires go where and what color is connected to what. Once you've done this, then you're good to go. The motor is only held in place by a few screws. If you have an ECM motor, what you want to do is unplug all the connections that's connected directly to the motor. And now on the front of the motor, there's going to be a retention plate that's held in by some screws. You want to go ahead and loosen all the screws, remove them, being very careful. Don't let them fall inside the AC unit. Take all your screws, remove the retention plate. Another thing to note is that one of these screws has the grounding screw that's connected to your motor. Make sure that when you're connecting it, you connect this back. Now with the retention plate off, the only thing left to do is slide the motor housing completely out. It's only held by rails inside the unit. So once you grab a hold of it, you can slide it out. Now, The motor can be heavy depending on the size of the unit, but just take your time and slide it out. And once you got it out, you can go ahead and set it somewhere safe on the floor or on a workbench. And then you can move on to removing the old motor. Now that you have the motor out, it's only held in place to the housing by screws on the back side of the motor and a retention screw that's tightened to the shaft. The first thing you want to do is loosen the set screw that's locking the shaft to the blades. Once you have this set screw loosened, the next thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and flip the motor over. One of the things you want to make sure you pay attention to is the orientation of the plug and the height of this bracket here. So what I like to do is I like to just put a mark here that says plug. So I know the plug is facing this side. So when I slide it back in, it will be in the right orientation. What I like to do is take a mark with a Sharpie and mark it so I know exactly how far down the bracket is on the motor. So when I put the new motor on, it goes back in the same location. Once you have this done, what you want to do is you want to loosen the screws that are connected to the main housing. With all these screws removed, the only thing left to do now is to slide the motor out. Now, if you're lucky, this motor slides out really easily. But if you're not so lucky, don't worry about it. Sometimes the shaft can be seized to the blades. If the shaft isn't coming off smoothly, just get you some liquid wrench and spray it down on the shaft to help it lubricate it so that you can lift it off easier. Once the lubricant has had time to set in, you can just hold on to the fan and pull it out and the shaft should come right off. With the old motor removed, we can bring in the new motor here and we can remove the covering from the adapter plug. All we need to do now is transfer the measurements from the old motor bracket to the new motor bracket. And I always remember measure from the base, the bottom of the bracket here, which is about 4 inches. So now we can just mark 4 inches on our new motor. And that's roughly where the bracket needs to sit. Now it's time to remove the bracket. This is just held in place by friction and a nut and bolt. So just loosen the bolt until the bracket becomes loose and you can slide it off of the motor. Now it's time to go ahead and slide the bracket back onto your new motor. Just go ahead, slide it on, and if you made a mark, you know exactly how far down to slide your bracket. Slide the bracket down, tighten up the screw. Now we can go ahead and flip our motor, and again I'm going to remember to align the plug here with the mark that I made and slide the shaft down through the hole until my unit sits in place. Once you've got the motor installed, the next thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and tighten down the bracket that's attached to the blower housing, making sure that the orientation of the plug, if you have an ECM motor, is in the same location as your original fan. You don't want to get this wrong because then you're going to have to take it off and rotate it. So just make sure that the plug is lined up in the same orientation and then you're good to go. Once you have the motor installed, what I like to do next is I like to put the motor on its side and slide the fan blades down the shaft until it rotates freely and there's no rubbing sound. I like to try and center it in the housing, but as long as it rotates freely, then you're good to go. Once it's in the desired location, you want to go ahead and rotate the shaft until the flat side of the shaft is in the same orientation as your set screw. And all you want to do now is tighten the set screw and lock it onto the flat portion of the shaft. Once you're done with that, you've installed the motor and you're pretty much ready to go to reinstall it back into your unit. Now all you need to do is take the housing with the motor and position it inside your air handler where the rails are aligned and just slide it in gently all the way in. Once you've got it all the way in, you can go ahead and connect your plugs to your motor if you have an ECM, or you can go ahead and connect the capacitor and all the wires that you had on your original motor back into their original locations. Lastly, we want to go ahead and put the retention plate on, putting all the screws back in, and don't forget to put that screw in with the grounding cable. Once that's done, you can go ahead and put the cover back on for your air handler, tighten up the screws, turn on your breaker, and set your thermostat to cool and wait to hear for that motor to come in. Once you got your thermostat set to cool, make sure your fan is on auto and go ahead and turn on your unit. What you should do now is just keep an eye on it and make sure that your unit cools when it's supposed to and the temperature is dropping inside your house like it's supposed to. And if it is, then you're done. You just replace your fan motor and you just saved yourself several hundreds, if not $1,000 worth of labor to put this thing in. I want to thank you guys for staying with me through this video and watching all along. If you have any questions, please feel free, leave them in the comments below. If you guys have any tips or tricks that you guys use, if you've ever replaced a fan motor in your AC unit. If you're also interested, check out my other videos related to HVAC. I've also replaced a condenser fan motor, so if you're having issues with your condenser, you can take a look at that video as well. And I do a lot of other HVAC related videos, so you can also go ahead and check those out. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next video.